Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Childcare Business Marketing Made Easy podcast. And I am so happy to have you here. So for this week, I am trying something different. I am trying to record video podcasts and then share them on all my platforms. So if you are watching the podcast, amazing. If you are listening to me, wherever you listen to your podcast, welcome. Before I dive into today's training, I want to mention that I do have some spots available for discovery calls, for strategy calls. What these are basically 30 minutes of free marketing advice. We hop on a video chat via Google Meet, and then I just ask you some questions, and then I kind of walk you through what I think is missing in your marketing strategy so that when we are done with a 30-minute conversation, you have clarity. You know exactly why you're struggling, but more importantly, what you need to do, what types of things you need to put in place in order to be able to not struggle anymore. So if you want to get some more information, hop on over to the show notes or go on my website, childcarebusinessmarketing.com/application, apply there, and then just book a time and obviously show up. So today's training is going to be a quick one, but I think it's one that I think a lot of childcare business owners struggle with, especially in today's online space with all the things that we have in our possession, right? So we have all sorts of platforms and we just don't know what to do. We're stuck. And if you're running a small home daycare and you're on your own, or if you're running a bigger center, this can feel overwhelming, especially if you're not like a child of the social media age, right? Where you're not used to posting all the time, and you're kind of confused and you're not sure where exactly you should be showing up, where you should be posting, going live, recording videos, and all that fun stuff. So I just wanted to clarify this for you in this very short episode. I basically talk a little bit about platforms and which ones are the best, are the ideal ones that you should be focusing your attention on. Okay, so when I'm talking about platforms, I'm going to focus this on purely on social media, because I am assuming that you are already found on Google, which is the number one search engine of the entire world, right? So going forward, I want to assume that you have a website that is mobile friendly. It's been optimized. It's there's no broken links, right? All the keywords are in place, and you're easily found on Google, meaning if a local mom and dad, for example, wants to find a home daycare in the area, well, your website is going to pop up, right? So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about online platforms, because I think this is where people get very, very stuck. Obviously, there's a lot of choices out there, and the good news is, no, you do not have to be on all the platforms. But you do have to show up in a few. And I want to share with you how you can do this, why you should do this, and how you can do this in a way that is going to kind of take minutes or even hours out of you posting all over the place, okay? So why do you need to be on social media? Well, it's a part of the puzzle when we're talking about marketing strategy. So as a business owner, whether you have a small home daycare or a bigger center, you want to have some type of online presence, right? And this is not new. We know, especially over the last couple of years, more and more things have shifted toward the online space. And your business, childcare is no different. So I don't care if you're running a small home daycare with 5 kids, or if you're in charge of a huge preschool program, you need to have some type of presence on social media. Now, that does not mean you have to be glued to your phone. That does not mean you have to be posting every 5 minutes. It does not mean that you have to be posting on all the platforms. It just means that when you're thinking of your marketing strategy, it's an important part, right? It's a piece of that puzzle. Now, you have to be online. Why? The biggest reason is because we know that most moms and dads are hanging around online, right? People are on their phones, they're checking their feeds, and they do this throughout the day. So you have to make sure that you are kind of placing your business and your content in front of their eyeballs, right? Yes, they can find you on Google, and they probably will, but they will most likely also follow you on social media, right? And you want to make sure that you're found there. So what that means is having a business page set up on Instagram, on Facebook, if you're leveraging Pinterest, right? Making sure that you are found on these platforms. Now, the question here is, do I need all these platforms? And the answer is no, you don't. You want to make sure that you're doing the research, and I have some facts I'm going to share with you in a bit, so that you know where you're showing up is also where your ideal clients are showing up as well, right? We want to make sure that we're leveraging our time properly with intent, right? We're not wasting our time, and we want to make sure that every time we post or every time we create a video or we go live, we are on the platforms that we know our moms and dads in our community are hanging around. So I'm going to give you some stats, okay? 86% of people ages 18 to 29 use Facebook. 77% of people ages 30 to 49 also use Facebook, right? So, a lot of people say that Facebook is just for old people, right? And that's not true. We know that there's a strong amount of people, like high 70s, high 80% of people that are 18 to 49, which is usually usually where you'll find more of your ideal clients, right? And we know that they're still using Facebook, right? So Facebook is one of those platforms that you have to have some type of presence on, having a business page, right? And we also know that over 50% of the users are female, right? So it's really, really important to know that you have a Facebook business page, but you also know that most of your clients are probably on Facebook, and most of the people that are using this platform are women, right? Those moms in your community. So Facebook is one of those that you definitely have to have. Now, let's talk about Instagram, okay? So Instagram sometimes, at least in my case, I feel that it's a younger crowd, like it's younger people that take these amazing pictures and, these selfies and all these things, but it doesn't have to be. So 67% of people aged 18 to 29, so the ages are lower than Facebook, use Instagram. So, we see that 67% are using Instagram. 47% are ages 30 to 49. They still use Instagram. So we know that the percentages are lower of users, but we still see that they are still on this platform. And over 50% of the users are female, right? So those local moms and dads, that you want to target. So Instagram is another platform that you should definitely be leveraging. Now, the good news is that as you're setting up your social media platforms, especially if you're leveraging your meta suites, you can actually go in and connect both together. So when you're posting on one, well, the other one gets updated automatically, right? And there's a way you can do this where you're adding your hashtags on Instagram and not on Facebook, right? But nevertheless, you can connect these two. You could link these two accounts so that when you're posting on one, the other one gets updated as well, okay? So Facebook and Instagram. So let's think about another one that you may not be leveraging right now. Pinterest. Pinterest is a platform, it's a search engine, right? It's visual, a lot of us go on it to look for do-it-yourself projects or recipes, right? Or, decorating or arts and crafts ideas, right? There's a lot of uses for it and a lot of searches for it, but here's what interests us the most, okay? So 34% of people ages 18 to 49 are on Pinterest. So the percentage is lower, but over 70% of the users are women. So we know that more women are on this platform, which is extremely visual, right? People usually type up what they're looking for, then they start seeing different pins and posts. So this is an excellent platform that you can definitely be leveraging in a strategic way, okay? So we know that TikTok and YouTube, right? There's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's all the other ones as well. But these are the ones where we want to focus our attention on because more and more people are using them every day. More moms are more women are using them every day. And it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon, okay? So if you're still stressing and if you're still thinking, oh my gosh, I can't be posting on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, let me show you how you can post smarter and not harder, okay? So as a business owner, having a strategy and a calendar, if you will, behind what you're posting is a great idea. So instead of trying to figure out what to post like randomly on a Tuesday morning, for example, you want to be strategic and you want to make sure that you're setting up the time in your week, if you're the one doing this, to actually create the content and the posts for your platforms. And what's interesting here is that not only can you repurpose the same posts, but you can actually pre-schedule all of them in, right? So if you're, for example, creating videos or images for your Facebook business page, you can actually connect those together and then pre-schedule everything to go out automatically so you don't have to worry about it. And when it comes to Pinterest, all you have to do is take the same images that you've created, for example, and you resize them using your Canva tool, canva.com, a free website you can definitely leverage. And then what that does is it just basically takes your, let's say you designed a little graphic to post on Instagram. You take the same graphic and you resize it to Pinterest dimensions, right? And there's a template for that. And then you just use that and you can pre-schedule your pins as well, so you don't have to be on Pinterest all day long trying to figure this out. Now, is this simple? Yes. Is this something that a lot of childcare business owners are doing? No. Why? Because as you can see, it takes a lot of strategy behind it, and it takes time, and it takes intent. Like, you need to be intentional with what you're doing, but it is super effective. I'm gonna link an episode that I recorded when I'm talking a little bit more about Pinterest, so you can see how the engagement on my own platforms went up, because I just started repurposing content from Facebook and Instagram and then posting it on my Pinterest board, right? So there you have it, you guys. You don't have to be all over the place, but Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to try Pinterest, are definitely your 3 go-to social media platforms, so that you can increasingly show more moms and dads how amazing your program is. You can share about your program, your curriculum, wins that the kids had, testimonials. You could go live, and you can basically just attract more local moms and dads that you want to work with by leveraging these free platforms. So if you do have a marketing question, you know that you can always go on my website, childcarebusinessmarketing.com, and then you scroll down in the middle and you'll see a little microphone. You click on that and you can just record your question, and then I will feature you in an upcoming episode. I hope that this episode blesses you. I hope that you don't feel overwhelmed with social media, and I hope that you really start using these free platforms in a more strategic way. I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye for now.